in this project we are looking a lot at improving the metrics used by explainability services, and also improving the tools for resilience and privacy for these services. And by improving these tools that are utilized by developers of Edge AI components, or those who utilize Edge AI components, we are directly generating value for these companies, both private and public, because our results are open AI, so they are open to everyone to utilize. And also, just further down the line, by ensuring these tools are open to anyone, we also help that even though we don't have a direct impact, we can also have an indirect impact for future work by basically leading the way in best practices for explainability in Edge AI. So ethical impact is always hard to judge because by the end of the day, it's hard to predict how these algorithms, these algorithmic accountability measures will interact with business and governmental bodies, and this ultimately how this cascades and affects on private moral agents, which is the people that accountability actually concerns. So in this sense, what we are hoping for is that when we perform our best practices, when we provide our services, that it's a step in the way to create a cascading effect to ensure that algorithmic accountability is present first throughout European contexts, that it measures up to EU regulations and legislations, and can also perhaps these practices in themselves can inspire new, more concrete and defined regulations. And then this in turn can generate a more global or international impact. Because we're not just looking at this in isolated contexts. Algorithms don't just exist in certain regions of the world, they spread throughout. Business practices spread internationally, and so do regulation practices. Take, for example, EU has GDPR, but the UK recently left the EU, but now they have their own GDPR that is very much overlapping with the existing EU GDPR. So making sure that we have good ethical outcomes out of the systems that we produce should make sure that these good practices also themselves spread for global impact. I think in terms of resilience and privacy, it will do. I think we have done a lot of good work so far, promising work in terms of resilience and privacy. And obviously it's hard to say. Within spatial, we're doing a lot of resilience, but we're also doing a lot of explainability. And while we have proven that explainability can be used for resilience, there is also the problem that fundamentally explainability has a contentious relationship with privacy. So then the question is, right, how will our privacy measures and our explainability measures work together for future good guidance for effective governance? And I think that what that will come down to is how well we balance these two aspects, and if we can find a way to unify them and get them to work together. If we can manage that with a spatial platform, so as to find a way to use explainability methods that still preserve resilience and privacy, then I think we've taken a great step into providing tools for future effective governance.